Interesting. Now it's playing. And is this working? Let me see. Yeah, okay, it looks like that's working. Well, as usual, let me know in El Chato, please, as soon as possible, when you can't hear me talking. Because I watched the video yesterday and I was like, oh my god, that music is way too loud. And you're going to hear it a million times anyway, so I might as well have it in the background. Like way back. I can listen to it as loud as I want. So, I'm going to do some more just talking about instancing in the No Man's Sky chat for that PC community. This guy is so on it. This is like a day straight that this dude is like arguing against people here that there's no instancing, or that he doesn't believe they're instancing until there's an official source. Fucking A. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I heard Sean Murray, is that the one? Say that, you know, after 32 players, it makes a new instance. So we were trying to discuss, like, well, then how do they manage that with building on planets and stuff, you know, in terms of game development and stuff. It's interesting. Someone suggested maybe when you put a building down in one instance, it immediately puts it in the other instances. Somebody else said if you try to build somewhere where there's a building in another instance, it just says, like, you know, you can't place computer here, you know, another building detected. But we got kind of sidetracked once. I was trying to determine, like, well, what about if you're friends with somebody and you're not trying to put a computer down, you're trying to, like, modify their building. And it's just like, you know, there's all sorts of weird situations that's going to get into. So, I was kind of curious about that. Can minimize that. The green screen thing has to stay here. That's for my GIFs. GIF salad. Can minimize that. Like, I think I can just do huzzah. And well, if I cover this up, you'll still see it. If I minimize it, you won't see it. That's the idea. Here, I'll just demonstrate. I'll do that thing again. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you see it on this stream, but not on the screen in my window. I don't see it. It's behind it. It's cool. Alright, so I believe we were in the main game state. Huzzah. Here's where I last put in some interface functions, which is the new cool beans. I'm going to be doing this for probably a lot of stuff. I'm going to be doing interface functions, which is simply a interface function that has an output. That's what I mean. There might be a more correct terminology for that I don't know. Let's see, and was it the new player widget? Yeah, this is the next thing. So I'm going to do this on the controller instead. Good morning, whoever's there. Rise and shine. Remember, it was 50 years ago yesterday that Woodstock ended, and the mess is still here. Okay. Probably gonna need interface. Taking forever to close that graph. Okay. So I believe we're gonna need a new player widget as a thing. And I don't think we need any inputs. Jeez. That's so funny. So, we're gonna want... I was watching the video yesterday and I see that you said hi like right at the start, and I was completely oblivious. Also, that dude, Fredo or whatever, said I saw his message about the game that he was working on. I didn't get to inquire more because I missed it, but I'm watching chat now. So, I wonder if I should just make it to like an input and an output, because on here, yeah, because we want to come out of it. No, we come out of it from here. So we do a function to do the interface, and then come out of the function to continue. So the interface thing can be a one-time, just sort of one-off. So, was it event new player widget? And I guess it's like, just gonna do create. Alright, so load async asset, class asset? I think it was that. New player widget. And then create widget. Huh? Widget. Create widget. And I plug this into that. Oh, then it has to be, oh yeah, cast to widget class. User widget class. User widget class. Okay. So theoretically, this will be better on loading, even with a cast to user widget class, because we're including that. That's like a small thing. Probably want this to be a custom event on client though. Game state is just doing it on begin play. I think the game state just, so then it's getting owning player of the HUD. What the hell was I doing? Like seriously. So let's make it a client new player widget. Let's make it a client a custom event anyway. Okay. I want this on completed. Alright, and then I have so I have to change it to user widget. Actually, let's find references first and see what I'm gonna mess up by changing it and fix it first. I'm passing this into enter player name, which is then setting this. So I can work on fixing this. This is on the player state though. Does this have any? It's just getting set. Why would I set that on the player state? That's so random. I guess I had to use it later for something. So yeah, I didn't find anything anywhere. So I guess I can just get rid of that here. Alright, and it's getting set in a couple of places. Let's see if I use it anywhere. And I'm getting it. Nope. So I have set here when doing switch characters. And set here. but literally never using it otherwise. I guess I just close it when you press enter, so there's no need to reference it later anyway. Like, I could just take out the reference completely. The way the game is currently set up, I don't need to save it as a variable, but it might be useful. Let's just keep it. Oh, also that event that passed through, I can take it off. We'll keep it in case I need to, use it later. This doesn't need the widget anymore. So, can you hear the music at all in the background? I do want it to be there because I hate feeling like I should talk constantly. It's kind of annoying, you know? So this whole thing can just go, right? No, this is different. This is a different area. I need warning text, though. So that's going to be on the new player widget. Let's do that. Let's make an interface for it. New player interface. And it's going to be called, what was it? Get warning text. No, set warning text. Yeah. And we'll give it an input of text. It's a text variable and set target warning text. So, and we're coming out. We're not really coming out technically. It's just a one-time thing here. So we'll leave outputs blank. So this is a totally different area. I don't know. This is just relative or relevant to what I'm doing. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. New player. Yeah, because this is to add to the viewport. Wait. Do I need... Oh, yeah, and to create the... Slipped into YouTube. I'm going to use slipped into as part of the song title next time. As you see, I like to name my songs kind of randomly. Splicing the current blue tumble wave. Euphemistic, get it? It ain't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Meaning something. Euphemistic, euphemism, means something. Boom. Okay, anyway. Make sure I get my chat up here. My monitor. Okay. So, maybe I should go ahead and experiment at this first time that I'm doing this and see if I can just... I feel like you have to do the create HUD part. Like, that has to be done. It's just not going to show up. I know I tested it the other day with just running code off of it without putting it to the HUD. Just to, like, run a function on it. And it only worked if I actually did with the purple line. I'm trying to find the thing. Here it is. Oh no, did this... oh wait, can you use a custom event in the interface? Here's the interface events. No. Project refactoring is quite the job. Gonna have to do it my side too real soon. Yeah, I kinda got to the point where I don't want to just make it messier. Like, I'm okay with getting messy to this point. That's the way you're supposed to do things. I still definitely agree with that. But it's like, this is important. You can't just do the first half and then be like, oh, that's all you have to do. So, you know, it's work. I feel like I need a job anyway, so it's good to, like, be like, alright, I'm just gonna check in at 9 o'clock, start working. I'm not seeing it over there. Okay, well that's not necessary anymore anyway. Try compiling again. The other thing is I realized after a month away, in my head, I still have the entire project. I can be like, oh, how does the item loading work again? And I could just like hop over to the game mode. I can just see all the arrays. It's right there. I can't perceive what order all of the variables are set in or anything like that, but I can kind of remember where everything is. It's like how you can't read in dreams, but you can look at a book. You can't like see the time on the clock, but you know there's a clock there. It's the same deal. It's like I don't need to know what the letters are to know what it means. Boom. Crazy thoughts. Okay, so this still didn't compile. Set new player, which is 0. Okay, because this guy's gone, or what's the deal? Because it's a different type of variable. I just want to get the interface. I don't want it to work yet. I need to replace that other one. Starting on C++ stuff, how's that coming? Like, I got a good understanding of it all now. All the parts that I had questions about, I'll have to review again. It's always good to just basically reread the whole C++ tutorial, because it's short. cplus.com/doc/tutorial, or just go to cplus.com and you'll find it. And it's like not that long. And the first time through, I didn't understand a couple of things, so I had to like look into it. But now that I understand them, whenever I really want to dive in again, I'll just re-review that. Like pointers, references, like double colon, the dot. There's another weird thing that you use like before. Oh yeah, the ampersand, pointers and references, when you use it before and after. Alright, it compiled now. We're good. We should have... It's interesting. Okay, I still have event new player widget. I guess it's not... It just got, like, replaced somewhere along the way because of the name, probably. And it wasn't compiling. So I do plan on doing some variable definitions here. Like, for example, this new player widget. We can define that in C++ instead of having the blueprint there. Don't know if that's gonna matter, because it's just a user watch. What's it doing? Maybe this guy just needs to be compiled first. Mostly you want to use that for actor references that are complex, like my horse character, items, anything that's a reference to another blueprint that has a whole bunch of other references to other stuff. That's the clutch stuff. I'm not sure I have to replace a reference to the user widget class. That I don't know if that's going to make a huge difference when you load it on begin play versus if it has to be referenced during the game. So if I want maximum possible shred of performance, I could do that. And that worked finally here. We've got our custom event on client working because it's not fun. I'm curious if I can do like on where was it? Here, interface. Can I do a custom event? No. See, you can't. How do you do the client and server stuff with interface functions? When you get around it, make sure you use view property. Above most things, you really don't want the garbage collector to get rid of. Mostly pointers. Yeah. I could briefly show you the VR project that I have started revamping the template for, but basically I just took all the variables and defined them in C++ using U properties and some meta tags. I mean, that stuff is pretty straightforward too. There's only like a couple pages worth of documentation on the Unreal stuff that you really need to understand. It's more like watching 4 hours of YouTube hosts blunder about trying to explain it. That makes it difficult. I should change the name of that. Should I just define this? Why can't I name it new player widget? Is it because of event new player widget? New player widget. I'll call it event create. Do you know much about C++? Like the whole thing about loading memory at the beginning of the game's startup versus loading the memory when you load the asset in the middle of the game? I think that's the point of it. But if you know more details about it, I would love to have anyone kind of reassure me that that's whether or not it's important. Like this widget, should I have this variable that I'm not even using later on? So I guess it won't matter, right? This is his green to go. Oh, it changed the name automatically. I didn't even have to compile. Jeez. What about this now? Alright, there we go. Now I have to compile for that. Oh, the things Unreal does. Does and doesn't. File, save all. Control Shift S. So oh, this is a player state, that's why. I don't really want that open right now. Can you repeat the question? So, having a C++ variable definition versus a blueprint defined thing, and the thing that we're defining is just a user widget class, is it worth, does that take up enough memory to consider defining it as C++ rather than using it as blueprint variable? And the thing that I'm not sure about is that C++ defined things get loaded at startup, whereas like all things that are defined as C++ all get loaded up at startup, whereas a blueprint defined variable will get loaded into memory as it's used. So like if you spawn a horse and it's defined by blueprint, that it won't be preloaded, so to say, whereas if it's defined in C++, it would be preloaded into memory. And maybe there's a balance there where you don't want everything to be preloaded, or maybe the savings of a widget, a user widget, just the class user widget, not like an extended class, just the basic class, whether that's even worth it, or if I should define everything in C++ just to save as much as possible. It's just my food for thought. Alright, here we go. So I'm already doing the async load class asset instead. Oh yeah, I wanted to test if this needs to be done, the create user widget object. I'm guessing it does. If I could use just async load asset on the HUD new player and just that's a user widget object. So again, I'd probably have to cast to user widget and add to viewport. But I don't know if that'll work if it don't do the add to HUD or the create user widget. Can I open this up? Can't even open it up in C++, wow. So this is a different issue right here, not what I was talking about before. I want to see if this will even work, but this is not the first place where this happens, even. So I'm going to do this here and the other place. Oh, and I need to do the set warning text function. Message. I just want to set warning text. Clear. But no, what was it? I deleted it. Set warning text. Event. Set warning text. It has to be compiled first. I get what you're saying. Blueprint always adds overhead, but it's fine in many cases. Adding C++ backend to everything is a good move in many cases. Opens it up for easy changes, additions, but in terms of memory efficiency, right? I missed that. You also said you come from a background in programming and somehow skimmed over a few UE4 specific things. Gotta double check the weirdness sometimes. Did you mean spawning a horse at a point sometime after the game is loaded? Yeah. No, well that's one case where I do know that would be more efficient. The question is more about just random stuff that's seemingly inconsequential, which I guess you said basically, yeah, adding it to everything is a good move, generally. Event set war. Set warning text. Oh, I didn't implement it. Class settings. There it is. Now compile. Now events. Set warning text. There it is. Cool. And I can just get warning text. Set text. 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 Exec. Boom. I should have said boom right when I hit the drum in the recording, because that's when I wanted to say it, but I held back, and then I said it afterwards, so it was out of time. Really unfortunate. It could have been a very good show if I was like, boom, right as I hit the one tom drum, like, boom. So, there was this, and there was also the first time it's done here. I haven't even revamped this at all, which comes to not this, but this. So that's where I want to try doing this instead. Do I have? It's got to be added to viewport. If interface events. So I should be able to test if this works. I'm gonna guess that this doesn't work. I'm just experimenting here to cut down as many nodes as I can, if it's not necessary. This, whether you have to create the widget. I'm guessing you do. I'm assuming that's why it exists. That widget has to be, even if it's loaded. See, this is a reference, is what we're loading here. We're only loading a reference. We're not creating the thing in-game, so I don't think this will work So basically, I'm gonna come in, Control Shift S, all saved. Yo, what's up, Stanislav Angelov? It's a cool name. Uh-oh, NPC access row. What? Huh. Apparently it was being used somewhere. Fancy that. So we need a set name and password. It's gonna need name and password. I am basically revamping the whole TFL project I've been working on for 3 years since I started as a bare amateur, and now I've learned a lot about optimization and stuff, and I want to do it right. Where was that? Oh, on access row. Yeah, okay, so now I want to add that reference and say set name and password message. Compile and save that. There, now it has name and password. So I'll have to fix this later too, but I'll come back to that. Bruh. What's up, more? So where is it? It's on the new player interface, name and password. Boom. Oh, no, it's on the actual HUD new player. Event set name and password. Paste. I can delete these. Name. Password. Name. Hold down control so I can skip that. Password. There we go. Doing it right. You can use interfaces on everything. The animation blueprint, it's amazing. When you consider the game thread, if you're running a BP function, every frame it'll be some overhead, especially something complex. C++ will reduce that dramatically. Huh. Well, I'm hoping for that. Oh, but you're talking about functions. Well, that's the thing, is I like to write in Blueprint. Are you saying, like, if just the function, like, name is defined in C++, and then I do all of my implementation in Blueprint, will that... Because, like, each of these nodes is a Blueprint overhead, but that's a specific question. Basically, if all I do is define the function name, like if I used C++ interfaces instead, that's complex shit. I don't want to get into the way C++ interfaces work. It's a little heady in terms of the formatting and where you put it. I don't know right now, but maybe I'll replace all the C++ references later on when it's just basically going to be copying a bunch of crap. I'm not going to have to go through the project to do it, so that should be easy enough. I'll have to go through each interface, but I think, yeah, you can just organize here. It's just only C interfaces, and then just, yeah, I can convert them later. Doing it this way first is probably easier to get it done, and then later easier to get it done, like factory style, Ford factory style. Just do that part later. But the question is, if all I were to do is for just your normal, not the interfaces, let's say your custom event right here, instead of having it defined here in Blueprint, if I were to define this in C++, you're saying it would basically just save the cost of one white wire, right? It's just like, oh, this part of it's going to be no overhead, but anything else you do in here is still. But are you saying that this part would be dramatically... nativization doesn't work, dude. Sorry. It's not there yet. Maybe once I do all the interfaces, maybe it'll work better. Maybe the nativization will work if I'm not using all these references. That would be nice to try it again. Okay, but I think the stuff is plugged in now. I can test whether or not that works. should be no compile errors. Right, let me just cache the map so it doesn't take a minute and a half to load. Although maybe I could just let it load for a minute and a half and go AFK for a second. I'll just be right back a minute. Oops, wrong button. So let's see how this works. Basically, we're checking if the new player widget loads at all, which I think it's not going to. But yeah, you'd say adding whatever. Whoa, no way! It actually. I don't need to do create HUD widget. That's impossible. I don't believe it. Everything worked, dude. Yeah, worked again. Inventory is not saving on this dude. That's insane, so you don't need to do create widget. Let's test that in multiplayer real quick. Uh, yeah, I'm going for a couple thousand BP objects in game probably. Nah, not really. I mean, I like to call it MMO light. It's the MMO format, but meant for like more like a Team Fortress 2 size server slash game feel, but with a big map. Like if you imagine this is just a huge 2-fort map. That's the other fort. Here's the bridge. You have to get a boat to go across, and it's just like back and forth, and you have like base construction and harvesting resources and just stealing them from each other. This freaking bug with the sky is just so obnoxious. It's only during the daytime. I'll figure it out later. But let's check client. Client's got the new player widget. That's crazy. I can't believe that works. I'm glad I tested it. I just gotta figure out what's up with clients, inventories. I got this connecting widget, and also attempted access, but pending kill, spawn loaded character, refresh all inventory colors. Let's ignore it for now. Let me try testing it at the blank save game. Let's save one. Oh, I did ban him and then unban him. I wonder if that messed with the inventory. I haven't tested doing stuff like that before. I got the special sauce. Sounds awesome. I think it looks great. All of the work you've put in is damn impressive. It takes a lot to get this far. You've got it. Thank you, dude. I can really appreciate that. You got the special sauce. Alright, there's probably a better name for that. Possibly. You know what the special sauce is? Randomizing your sub race when you start the game. I also want to test if there's a little bug I noticed on clients with the monk. His clothing wasn't synchronizing. Simulate some net latency. Net packet lag 300. It's a ping of 300. You'll notice a delay to when things happen. See that? There was a... Alright, so... No, he looks good now. Alright, that's cool. I can take that off my notes. I saw that in my notes, and I was like, didn't I fix that? Just want to make sure you keep up with your notes. I think I need to lower the resolution of the text here so you guys can read the full angry paragraph. There you go. Okay, yeah, cool. Have you considered going for the Mega Grant? I have. I haven't applied with this project, I don't think. I've applied for the VR movie thing I want to do, but I don't really have it pinned down yet exactly. Like, it could be a series, it could be a movie, it could be a VR game, it could be a VR movie. I just want the money to make whatever it is, and so I'm really against fucking PR and marketing and packaging and stuff. Like, I surprised myself with how nice I've done that I did. I'm surprised with how well I did once make like a poster for my movie Engrams. Like, it has little bubbles on it and everything. Like, it looks sweet. But like, here, look, I'll show you the extent of my marketing skills. Here's my website, isn't.com. Feel free to check it out anytime. It shows my movie stuff up until 2016 when I started doing Unreal Engine, and I stopped giving a shit about my like online representation. Like, so here's Amy in a Cage, the Bitcoin funded movie that I worked on was associate producer for most of it, but the dude took away my credit because he's like spiteful. But I got first AD and post-production coordinator kind of added at the last minute as like a compensation. Here's it. My movie, Engrams. I filmed. Alright, what I wanted to show you was this poster thing. This is like the front of the postcard here. I put these pictures together with the black borders, and this is the back of it with the little bubbles, the nice little fade out, and the shadow, and the background picture. Like, I'm really happy with this. I'm really proud of that. But it's just, I just hate like showing myself off. I like showing myself off. I don't like putting it together. I like just letting the work speak for itself, you know, like, shit. I don't like making trailers. Like, I really hate cutting trailers to my own work, but I do like cutting trailers to other people's work. Like, I cut a trailer to Amy in a Cage, and I love it. But I hated making trailers for Ngrams, and when my distribution company made one for me, I was just like, oh my god, that's so much better than I could have done. Like, let me show you real quick. Ngrams trailer. I think it's the official trailer number 3 is the one they did. Hold on a second, you gotta hear the music. Bearded curtains still live. Alright, let's watch this real quick. Oh no. That's Brian Viglione drumming in the background from the Dresden Dolls. He's chill as hell.
That's Sam.
Okay, so we are looking for an American blonde girl in a Polish city.
Yes. Shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure you have heard of classical conditioning. The whole island response. An MIT study found that behavior based on high-level cognitions, such as the expression of specific memory, can be generated.
See, actually, I think this is the trailer that I made.
By the physical activation of small subconscious.
God, okay. Yeah, this is their official one.
That's Sam.
Okay, so we are looking for an American blonde girl in a Polish city.
Yes. Shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, sure.
You think you can cure depression? You know, it sounds like it would be good for remembering traumatic events. Repressed memories long forgotten.
So much better, right? I don't know. I just like having my hands off that part of it all. You know what I mean? Unless it's somebody else's. And then I'll have a whack at it. Where am I? Oh, right. I think I chose Lumberjack. Absolutely. So you're a programmer and you've just been getting into Unreal? Or? Oh right, thank you. Haha. Chill. And there's also the in-game music I'll turn off. I hate that new error. Like, how does this just new thing just happen out of nowhere? I swear, the hackers, the Russian hackers, they have access to my game. And they're doom spying me. The Bilderberger group, I'm telling you. No, okay, sorry, I'm done. Here's my other dude. Uh-oh. Different time of day. What's up with that? Or is like the sunlight just not replicating? Is it not interpolating fast enough? This one still has music, hold on. It's because they're both on the same computer. It kind of loads up the UI. Okay, I think it's just catching up. There's an interpolation going on between them. How and why did that just start happening? Anyway, I'm gonna save and quit and see if their inventories are still there. All good. Yeah, it looks good. We're good. Alright, cool. Yeah, it was probably something I did wrong with like the saving and quitting. Maybe it crashed at some point and I didn't save correctly. So that's something I want to work on, is like a backup save system essentially, so that if you load into the game and see like everything's foobarred, you can just be like, oh, okay, well, just backup save and have like a series of backup saves. But it's a whole system I have to write, so I'm not doing it yet, but it's on the back burner for sure. I constantly brainstorm about it. Music is much better volume now, right? Did I just host game twice? I feel like I did. Been using UE4 for 2 years and still learning. Was just throwing some things at you that hit me, really random issues. But you know your stuff. Well, yeah, I mean, I like to just insist that I know everything. So when someone gives me advice, I like to tell them I already know it. But I'm just kidding. I am sorry. I just kind of, I do like to sort of establish what I do know so that people can, you know, properly inform me of other stuff and whatnot. And like, it's like, oh, also to recognize each other's like knowledge and like intelligence, and just be like, oh yeah, yes, you and I both know this thing. That is great. What else do you know? So I don't mean to like stop you. Like, please feel free. I'm guessing you saw my little comment there in the text thing. That's for trolls. Don't worry about it. You're good. Seriously though, you wouldn't be surprised with the number of trolls, I'm sure. They were connected with each other. What am I talking about? Why did I guess I quit from the guest first. Yeah. Alright. Did it again. Let's continue. I should probably look into this. I don't have anything open to work on. I'm lost. What do I do? I guess I was in the game state. Ah, dude. This might be why it was still working. I thought I had replaced this. Hello? So what we want to do is... actually kind of confused now. How am I going to specify which controller that is? So I was testing and I didn't even do it right, but this is the hard part. How am I going to tell it which controller to do? A new player widget. Like, is that gonna work? Alright, I accidentally opened up C++. Thanks. Alright. I wonder if the default scene route will work. I'm gonna try this, and then I'm gonna go into the interface function. I bet you this is not gonna work. You do similar things as well sometimes, kind of like trying to skip through small talk, repetition to get to the good stuff. Yeah, it's just a natural human behavior I catch myself doing, and yeah, see here, look, it did not load the new player widget. So let's go to controller, see if it's doing it at all. So I'm getting lost listening to my own music, just like it's chill. Alright. So I think this will work. Gotta be careful with shit like making the assumption that a test was true. There's a whole thing I forgot about. But anyway, it's good that I just go through the whole project like this, just follow up through everything. There will be things that I miss, but if I go through the logical... Nope, that didn't work either. Uh-oh. Okay. Let's put a little print string here. Just a little one. Yeah, that is a tight recording. I gotta dub over that. It's so confusing with these codes. Ah, wait, okay, so... Oh, it's not running the code off of that. That's why. So the load async asset thing is probably fine. Let's continue with... May not be fine. Let's continue with that part until we get this to run. This doesn't work. Maybe that's enough. I'm trying to do it without direct hard references. So we'll see. If the print string shows up and the widget doesn't show up, then that means it's the that I need to use the create widget node. If the widget shows up, then that means you don't. If neither shows up, that means I still gotta figure out how to pass it through here. No, see, I'm trying to avoid casting to everything. That's what I'm... I could easily get through it. Like, this whole thing worked fine using cast to everywhere, but what I'm trying to do is to get rid of cast to wherever I can. Yeah, it looks like the... yeah, this still doesn't work. It's funny that, well, the way I did it before was I did create widget, and I used get owner, get owning player. But owning player is blank here when I did it. But this would work. This is just the game state though. But this would work. This is like the worst hacky way to do it, but I just want to make sure the rest of the code works. I don't know if construct none will work per se, but constructing a widget and then using get owning player was what, yeah. Must have a class specified. Just use user widget. This is how I got it before, I'm telling you. It seems really, but that was how I got the controller. I'd create the widget and then just get the controller from it. And I was using the here, I was writing the code to do the widget. Aw, are you kidding me? Maybe it works, just the rest of the code. No? Might have to go back to the way it was before and see. I'm pretty sure I was just doing it and then cast to main player controller. That's what I was doing before. And I was like, you know, add to viewport. I was using the Alright, I'm gonna guess that maybe the game state it exists on each computer. So let's see if this will work. How do you display the game menu then maybe after the button load a widget? Not pro. At this point basically I'm trying to get the function to pass through. There you go, see it passed through. That actually worked for the host. Let me see what happens when the client does it. Now, my worry is that player controller 0 will just be this player controller 0. So when I come into here... there we go. This is good. This is perfect. Alright, so... although this might crash everything if I try to quit. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna crash. Basically, I just have to remember that I did that. Because I have some code written into when the session ends. It's gonna crash. No. Okay, good. We're cool. I guess only if the game has already been loaded up, or there's a character possessed. That's probably when it crashes, if it tries to run code on the possessed character when it's closing. Okay, so we're cool. Let's just save it anyway. Now I believe all I have to do is use the create user widget. Instead of just the load asset, I need to do load class asset, cast user widget class, then create widget. I don't need this anymore. I wonder if I even need the custom event. Let's check that. Let's bypass it, because I'm like certain this is gonna work anyway. Skipping a test stage, because yeah, it takes like 2 minutes to do each test. Maybe Oh yeah, I already read all that comment. Okay. Save all before doing a test. Sorry, I move the microphone sometimes because I don't want to like blow in the microphone. Hey, welcome to the Discord, Trevor. Cool beans. So everything worked. I didn't even need to use the client thing. Hold on. It's funny, I like how I just jumped right through it and was like, what am I supposed to be testing? Oh yeah, it already happened. And it worked. And it was good. I want this up here. I wish you could just like drag portions of the UI and reposition each little thing. That would be sick. Where's 3? Oh. It's like above the freaking window. I can't even... You see that? Take care, Cuddle Badger. Good luck with your work. Oh, I can expand the shit out of it. There we go. That worked. Oh, resolutions. You're so funny. So, because the game state exists on each client separately, when I use getController0 there, it's actually going to the networked controllers and operating code on them without having to do run on client. This blows my mind. Like, that widget spawned on each of these separately. Well, I'm gonna come in again. It didn't spawn on the other controllers, it spawned on this controller. It's amazing. It's right there. So, don't even need it. Uh-oh. That bug happens sometimes. I haven't pinned down what causes it. I was thinking a fix might be just to put a little widget in the world there that says, problems? Having problems? Press this button to reload the widget. Let's see if it's tied to that character. No, see, I entered the world and he's there. So I don't know what causes that bug. Happens occasionally. I'm sure like all of my testers have experienced it once. I know Dark Relic has. He'll get up there and be like, it used to be like it would just dump you in the middle of the ocean, so I put a box around the middle of the ocean, and I went to all this work to like hide it. I put an island around it. I made the ocean invisible in that area. I put the box inside the invisible ocean part. I put a 3D widget in the box so that you see text when you're there. I just have to add the functionality to reload. Why don't I do that? I feel like it's totally sidetracked. Yeah, let's not do that. So that's fascinating to me. So, like, especially in VR, those widgets loading and not causing a hiccup, like a hitch. Like, 'cause there's some graphics in them, there's a background image, you know, I mean, there could be a imperceptible hitch. So having it async loaded is probably, like, really good and stuff. I think I have to have my yogurt. It's time for breakfast. Why does this stupid map always have to be resaved? Whatever. I just closed all the stuff too. So that was up to new player widget. Authority, server, load, save game. Custom in game mode. So let's go to the game mode interface. And we want load game from slot, cast a world save game, set save game. So we're gonna want to pass through, actually, it's a save game object. So let's find references here. Ooh, from load save to tree maps. Yikes. Okay. So why don't I do both of these? I'm going to put all of those as outputs on the function. I mean, if this is the only place I'm doing it, that's not too bad. You know, let me think if I can think of a better way to do the other, because I'm only saving this. Wait. Okay, to do the load saved tree maps on the game state. Game mode has a whole save game thing separately. World save game. It's a different variable that's used all over the place. So this is just for getting the trees over to clients essentially. So this is self-contained usage of it. I'm getting it, then I'm using it. So this could like just pass through there without the variable. But then when I'm using this, I want to get rid of the cast, so that by using the original, I need to use the interface that basically just gets all of these and passes them through. I think it's the way to do it. So actually it's going to go on the save game, I think. Wait, so we get to the game mode. We're going to get its world save and load game from slot. I already have a variable there for it though. Theoretically, this happens first anyway. This is just a save game object, actually. So that does work. Get. Okay, and then to implement it, do I have to compile again to show? Yeah, I did. It didn't give me a yellow compile, but I had to compile for it to show up. So that's my interface getter, I guess I can call it that. And then get game mode, get world save game message. Now I have a generic world save game. So on the save game, I'm going to want an interface. Alright, I should probably finish off some work. You've still been here? No, wait. Okay, I thought I saw a new message. I guess it was just my music changing. Message in chat. That is. Okay, payment interface, world save game interface. Let's implement it. And we want to open it. And the function is going to be load saved trees. Alright, luckily these are all. So I can change this type, it'll disconnect. There's really no need for it to be in a separate graph anymore, but whatever. So actually I have to keep this it does make sense to keep it in a separate graph because I have to keep all that top stuff up here to set the references when they come back. So I'm just going to copy these for reference, like mental reference, while I on save game it needs outputs of these types. So let me put one output on there first, just so it shows up. There it is. And now I can like paste these. Wait, what? Oh, I'm just... There it is. Yeah, there weren't gaps on here. Must have accidentally deselected some of them. What? Yeah, like what? Sometimes it grabs like a wire instead or something. It's a little buggy. I left the square on the screen. Like, it's not grabbing them. Oh, Unreal. Okay, copy that. There they are. Okay, so just want to double check each one and not just go through blindly and make sure they match. Tree types. Oh, there it is. Tree locations, tree components, tree indices, tree forest types, forest roots, and tree logs left. Whew, okay. I should have put these further away. Okay. Oh, please allow me to just... Oh, that would have been so nice if I could have just edited it there. Boom, that was nice. Alright, it's like one thing sucks, one thing rules. Whatever. It only sucks because I'm used to being able to do it elsewhere. In this engine. So, I want to edit the interface to have all of those output types in it. It is going to be a pain in the ass. But these are just maps of integers to integers, map of integers to integers, integers to integers. So for the most part, they're, how many of those do we have? 14. I was about to say, oh no, you can't do it. Yes, you can. Okay. And then I need map of static. No, it's an array of static mesh object. I could rename them. Not too much difficulty. I think I would just double click on each. Obviously I'm not done there yet though. guarantee I'm gonna miss one. If I get all of these right, if I end on the 14th one with the 14th name, I'm gonna be really surprised, or I'm just gonna chalk it up to skipping one and then like adding an extra one. Why do I always feel like the music I'm playing like really mirrors the experience I'm having at the moment? Like it's just fading out right now too. Like just nearing the end of it. The last couple, it was a few seconds. Oh, look at this. I'm right on track. I think I did it right. Somehow, some way, I persevered. This can be tree types. Why? Why? Tree locations, which is an array of transforms. Tree components, instance static mesh component objects. Indices, integers, I mean. Tree forest types, array of forest types, enums. Forest roots. It's just a booleans. And tree logs left, array of integers. And there they are. I guess that's good enough. I can see them. No, this is not good enough. No, what the hell is that? Oh Jesus, where's like the spread out button? Oh god. No, just pull them apart. Oh no. What the fuck? This is what an Uber graph. This is how an Uber graph is born. Jesus, what am I gonna do? Shit is hilarious. What have you done to me? This shit is funny. It's a good thing I'm a pasta master. I want them to be vertical though. I'm just going back to the way it was. Okay. Not the button I wanted to press. No. I'll get there. I'll make this a vertical stack. I will. It's gonna be beautiful. You're gonna see the best vertical stack you've ever seen of blueprint nodes. This shit is so funny. I'm sorry. I hope this is entertaining to someone else besides me. This belongs on that Tumblr. Blueprint nodes from hell or whatever. Blueprint graphs from hell. Okay. Yeah, I can use that. Alright. Would like it if they were closer, but we can work with this. Can use, and kind of shades the ones that you can't. Glows isn't a verb, but whatever, right? I mean, it glows them. This is gonna mess up. It's gonna unplug everything. What? Okay, I think this is fine now. This one's not giving... Well, it's giving me a yellow warning. Oh, okay. No, that's fine. So it wasn't plugged in. Okay, I should be able to do this now. Give that a good old compile. Still, what? Huh. That's annoying. Worked here. On the inputs. Oh. Both of them have to implement it. That's news to me. There was another place I did a return on and it didn't seem to... Let's see, it's still failing. Calling improvement knows the name of the in-game instance of the other blueprint. It could be because of this. Okay, now this is a different one. This is... We'll save game interface? Interface? What? I could try this. I mean, it's compiling. And it's just going to self. Maybe it just calls the interface. And it's a good way to test. Let's chop down a tree and see if it saves. Okay, it says it worked. Save everything. Test chop down a tree and load the saved game and see if the tree is still chopped down. Client and server. close that just to give a full shutdown. Oh no! No, it didn't work. Okay. Show you. Wait, let me try this. No. Wonder if I just reload the project, maybe? Or just a file? Oh. These nodes are wrong? No. Well, yeah, that's where the error is showing up, but it's also showing up there. Okay, so wait. This guy is still giving me an error. Okay, those are fine, but this... Uh-oh, Unicorn Riot's live. What's going on? They are at Native American Presidential Forum. Okay, that's cool. Yesterday, I think, or a couple days ago, they were covering the anti-fascists in the fascists in Portland. Doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna try just shutting it down and reloading the project. Here we go. Fixed in target fix 422. Okay, well I guess I have to update the 422. No biggie. I just need room on my hard drive to make the copy. How does it affect 423 but target fix is 422 and it says fixed? Fix commit. Resolved February 20. Update March 2019. I wonder if I can just make the copy of it on the external hard drive. It doesn't give me the choice of where. Oh, more options. Convert in place. Pretty sure I'm like out of space on this hard drive. I'll do some management. Alright, I guess I'm gonna stop streaming for now. We'll convert this and see if it worked. I'll come back later. Because I want to file manage. Let me just see if it gives me a choice of... No, it doesn't give me a choice. I can't do that. I think I can move this completely to my other hard drive. I could just do that and then copy there. Let me just do that. It'll still take like half an hour just to copy this shit. Although I did make a backup of the whole thing recently anyway. Let me I could do convert in place basically, because I have made a recent backup just like 2 days ago before I started doing this. Or do I want to save my progress so far just in case? I think I want to save my progress so far just in case. So I'll do convert in place, but first I'm going to back up here. So I'm just going to take a break on the streaming, and I'll come back shortly. This is the 20th now? 19th? Yeah. Okay, so just copy the drive here. Should be pretty obvious what's going on. About 10 minutes. Long, slow, sad song until there. Actually, I'll leave stuff kind of on screen as a visual of why I'm updating. I suck at clicking on things. There you go. Nice little infographic of what's going on. Gonna be like 20 minutes, 30 minutes probably. Alright, I'll be right back. I walked away for a minute and somehow I had my 8-tonal guitar noodling stuck in my head. But you see how much faster the source tree backup was than copying the whole folder? I mean, granted, there's probably 50 gigabytes too much of probably exported files and intermediate files and save file, whatever. But anyway, both backups are done, so I can proceed with convert in place. See how that works. I've never done that before. More options. Convert in place. That's a thing. And I noticed also when I was in the patio, my messages that I typed here, oh, it couldn't be compiled. The imposter baker? Huh. I wonder if I should get rid of that one node first before trying to. Let me do that. Let me get rid of that. So open up my project. What? That's weird. Okay. Interesting. It's a good thing I made that backup, huh? I clicked one button and the whole thing became undoable. So here's the backup. Trying to convert in place with plugins or something, I guess. Now I'm on the internal D drive. I wonder if I should edit this at all or just copy it back over. Oh, I could probably use source tree to go back to the version before this. Let's do that. Let's use source tree and its intended functionality and whatnot. This is still me on guitar, by the way. I'm really happy with this track. Just having fun with the delay pedal. I don't know if you can hear it, the volume it's at now. This is probably just rebuilding whatever data. Hopefully this works. Da, da, da. 95% now, so it's still moving. There you go. Alright, here's my game. So, let's close this up. Keep that hard copy. Let's go back to source tree. Alright. History. Many videos ahead. Basic terrain. Oh, that's battle tanks. That's why I'm like, what the hell is this? Wait, why is that? Oh, I didn't do perforce on the right project. I just did this for some reason. Oh, that's funny. Oh, it's a good thing I did the hard copy backup. Let's go ahead and mess everything up by deleting something. Now, I'm pretty confident that this is good. Just open it up again one more time just to double check. It shouldn't take as long this time. But you're right, scary stuff, man. You saw that. I pressed one button, poof. I'm sure there's probably some way I could have worked around it. Alright, this is no longer me on guitar. This is Jonah. And it is taking a while to open. It is on my D drive though, so not as fast. Okay, yeah, this one's good. So I want to go to this PC. Delete. That's huge. 133 gigabytes. Bye-bye. This is why I always do like hard backups before. I should have done the perforce too. That would have been much quicker to back up than this, and much less scary. Copy. Pasty. And this will probably take another half hour. But this is writing to my faster drive, so maybe not. I need to get some lunch anyway. Or do something like that. An hour, it's estimating. Yeah. Alright. I guess it's bye-bye stream. I shall return. It doesn't look like it's speeding up. And it'll probably take longer than that. No biggie. I guess because it's reading from a slower drive or something? I don't know. I don't want to stop listening to this though. Sounds good on me headphones. Only a few more tracks left from these recent, like, higher quality recordings. Ah, see, now it says 30 minutes. So it is speeding up the estimate. Bet you it's not going to be that long, even. Probably done by 12. Yikes. You know what, I could probably just... Now that I have the free space, why don't I make a copy of that? Instead of... Because I needed the free space to do it anyway, right? It might be weird. I might mess it up. I should back it up here first. But I don't know where I'm going to get the space to copy it to. So now it says 22 minutes. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in the folder itself that's not necessary. Yeah, I think we're gonna go over some of these. With like additional instruments. Like add bass to this stuff. Alright, I'm gonna shut down the stream for now. I'll probably come back later. Adios. And thanks for watching. Come join the Discord if you're not already there.